Hey guys, so this is going to be my 2019 favourite. So before I start, this is going to be a lot smaller than my last one. Just because I hadn't been buying that much, so I don't really have any that much favourites this year, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm gonna go for it. And as I'm filming this, I forgot one thing. Also, with my favourites, I don't like to repeat myself, so anything that you've seen in my last one, it doesn't mean that it's not my favourite. It's just that I don't want to repeat myself. These are like things that I discovered this year, that sort of thing. So first off, I am going to start with events. So I didn't do that much this year. I went to obviously my Comic Cons that I normally do, and Birmingham Comic Con be my favourite. I think last year it was Nottingham Comic Con, I can't remember now, but this year Birmingham Comic Con was my favourite. My least favourite was Manchester Comic Con, and that's when I decided that I'm not going to go to Manchester Comic Con anymore unless there's a guest that I really want to see. Otherwise, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. And obviously at Birmingham Comic Con, I got to meet David Mozus. If you don't know who he is the if you from the TV show Gotham. If you've not seen that, then obviously clearly you're not a fan of comics, but I got to see him. And then this year I also went to Body Power for the first time ever. Really enjoyed that. So that happened. I also did a 10k run, which I haven't done in years. Like since I was at school, I've not done a 10k run. So it was fun doing a 10k run. That was for Resolution, and that is to raise money for the charity Stoke, which is to do with like stroke victims, people who've suffered from strokes, which is quite close to my family. And then my two boxing matches, so the one that in the middle of the year, which I won, and then my latest one, which I won as well. So that's all the events which happened to me, my favourite ones this year. Now we're gonna get to the actual items. So first off, I'm going to be starting off with makeup. So I have two foundation. One's a little bit of a shock, and it's a shock to me. But for the first one is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. So this foundation, when I do wear makeup again this year, I've not been wearing that much makeup either, so there's not actually a lot of makeup favourites. But when I do wear makeup, this is a foundation I tend to go for. This is in the shade medium dark. I remember as well, the only thing I didn't like about this is in my boots, it didn't really have that much of a shade range, and I wasn't sure if the shade range was a lot bigger online. But yeah, I really like this foundation. It applies really well, blends very well, and lasts really well on the skin. So it's like a go-to foundation that I do reach for. And then another foundation which is a shock, and it shocked me. This is the Makeup Gallery Gorgeous Flawless Long Lasting foundation. This one is in the shade, I will say this one's slightly dark. This is in Golden Sand. This, if you don't recognise the brand, this is from the Pound Shop. Yes, this shocked me. Especially with a lot of people hating on it, but the problem is people weren't applying this properly. This is a mousse foundation. Very moussey. You need a kabuki brush to buff it into the skin. You are not going to get away with applying a mousse foundation with a sponge. It's just not going to work. And what shocked me even more is this didn't really cling on to my dry patches. I usually stay away from mousse foundations because of that, but this didn't cling on, and I was like shocked. I was like, wow, a mousse foundation that doesn't actually cling on to my dry patches. OMG. This just shook me completely, and it was only £1, so I was like, oh my god, this is actually good. So the other foundations, next things I have is the Jelly Highlighters by Revolution. So this one is in the shade Prestige, and this one is in the shade Monumental. What I really like about these, so it's them jelly type highlighters. Um, I'll show you. So they're it. You see that? That's what makes it jelly. It's like a putty, basically. What I really like is they are really nice highlighters. They give you that kind of wet look, but also being quite pigmented as well. They apply really well onto the skin. I just really like this. It's like a natural glowy highlighter. They're really, really glowy. So next is the Rimmel London Wonderlux Volume Mascara. I know this has been out for a while, I think. I don't think it came out this year, but I bought it this year. What I really like about this mascara is a lot of the time I have issues when it comes to mascaras where it's either going to be lengthening or it's going to be volume, or ones that claim they do both, but a lot of the time they lengthen more. This one is so good at doing both. Like, it proper lengthens the lashes but also gives it volume as well. I'm like, wow, this mascara, I really do like it. Like, a mascara that does both equally as well is a tick in my box. Now, if you don't know me, I do prefer mascaras that give volume. Like, I prefer volume over length, but as I said, if I find one that lengthens really well but also volumizes really well, then it's a tick in my box, and this is a good massive tick. So is that. Next I have are the sleek shattered glass lip toppers. So I have this one, which is in shade Hoax, this one in the shade Onyx Kiss, this one, which has to be my favourite, in the shade Bloodstone, and then this one in the shade Acid Kiss. So basically it's literally full on glitter on your lips. Now, they do say they're a topper. I've not topped them off on top of any lip colour. I just use these on their own, and they work really well on their own. But as I said, they're really glittery, and if you're a fan of like glitter lips and stuff, I definitely recommend that you give these a go. And then the last makeup products I have, these are the Avon nude lipsticks. So they came out with the range because obviously this year was the year for nude lipsticks. Like, everyone was coming out with nude lipsticks, and then Avon did a range of nude lipsticks, and you could get like a set with like that, like you choose which shade, and you'd get a box, and it contained an eyeshadow quad, a lipstick, a lip liner, I believe, and I think an eyeliner as well. I'm not sure, but I went ahead, so I got one in a box, and I went ahead and got one anyway because it was a colour I really liked. So new lipsticks with a range. So I have the shades in Divine Twig and Marvelous Mocha. I believe this is the one that came in a set, and this is the one that I got separate, but they are really nice. I'll show you one of them. So this one is Marvelous Mocha. They are really nice. They apply really well on the lips and everything like that. They last quite a bit as well. So yeah, there's that. So that is for all the makeup. Now onto fragrance. So I have two fragrances. The first one is the Imperial Armani Stronger With You aftershave. This one I really, really like. I do prefer this one to the female version. There's a few aftershaves that I like that where I just prefer the aftershave compared to the actual perfume. Take this with slight warning, because I don't, not slight warning, but with like a lot of people are saying this is unisex. I like this fragrance, but this isn't unisex. Believe me, it isn't unisex. It is definitely more aimed at male. It's definitely a male aftershave. You can tell the difference between like if it's unisex or not, and this is definitely, I would say, doesn't hit the category of unisex. I mean, if you want to try it, like ask for like a sample or something, or go in Debenhams, because they always have the the spray bottles all over the place of perfumes. But I won't go out and blind buy this if you are female, because this is definitely a male fragrance. I just like the smell of male fragrances, and I'm happy to wear them. But I know I've heard a lot of women that say that they like it and they say that it's unisex, but personally I wouldn't say this was unisex. And then the other perfume is the Lancôme La Note Treasure. I really, really like this scent. This is such a nice, like, going out scent. I do prefer this one to the other one, which I think is just called La Treasure. I think that one's just called La Treasure. This one has a little bit more depth to that one. But you can tell, like, that one, the other one's like a daytime, and this is kind of like a nighttime. So that's that for fragrances. Next thing is the Kodiak Pix Pro AZ421. So I've only used this a few times now, but obviously now it's coming on to winter as well. I'm not really going to be going out in this freezing cold weather, in the cold, as much. But when I have been using it, I've been really liking it. It's easy to use for beginners and everything like that. Don't ask me to do a review on it, because I'm not, when it comes to cameras and stuff, I will feel very uncomfortable doing a review, because I don't really have any background knowledge on cameras or anything like that to do a review on it. But it is really good for a beginner to grab hold of, to grasp and stuff like that. Just like playing around with it and stuff, you get used to it. So is that. Next thing is I actually have a book favourite, and that is Battle Scars by Jason Fox. Some of these, if I've done reviews on I'll link in the description. But yeah, really, really like this book. This is a really good story of his time in the army. And what made me laugh is someone tried to comment on my video trying to be political by saying that from what I recall, he was in the Marines, he was in an army. I was using the term army as a generalisation. Now, obviously, they're not the same thing, but as a generalisation, they both work together. So, if you're watching this video now, fuck you. Anyway, fuck you stupid cunt. Anyway, stop trying to be fucking clever when you're not. Anyway, I'm just going to still use the army one, because if he's watching, it's just going to piss him off even more. But yeah, his time has been in the army, but how he ended up, having issues after he left and everything like that. Really, really enjoyed this book. It is a little bit on the depressing side, but I really did really enjoy this read. Next thing I have is a game. This is Persona 5 on PlayStation 4. I know this is like how many years old, but I got playing on my PlayStation 4 again, and I picked this up and I really, really enjoy it. I don't think I'm even halfway through it. I probably won't finish it until the end of next year, because as I said, I don't game as much because I just don't have the time for it. But when I do have the time, I've reached for this game because I really want to finish it. Like, you can tell this was really good. Like, people are like saying this is the best RPG, and honestly, I can understand, because this is a really, really good game. I would say go and get it, but you're better off waiting for Persona 5 Royal. I think that comes out next year. People are a bit bummed with it. I'm pretty bummed with it. It's a cash grab. Basically, it's the same story. They've just added characters to it and stuff like that. It seems more of a DLC. They should have had it as a DLC, to be honest with you. So that's why I won't be picking up Persona 5 Royal. But if you're interested in getting theirs, just wait for Persona 5 Royal to come out. Because, as I said, that one is the same. It's literally the same game, but it's like added characters and stuff like that. So I'd wait for that, because that you're only waiting them for 2020. I'm not sure what month it comes out, but you're not waiting that long for it to come out. So yeah, really, really enjoy this game. Next thing is a TV show, and that is Fraser. Basically, this year, especially at the beginning, I was doing a lot of morning shifts. What's starting at 6 o'clock in the morning, when you're on your break and everything, the only things that are on Channel 4 is Fraser or Everybody Loves Raymond. Yeah, Everybody Loves Raymond, and I fell more in love with Fraser. And I was like, you know what, I have to get the box set. So I got the box set with every series from season 1 to 11 because, you know, I really liked it. So that's a TV show I've been enjoying this year. And then the next thing is movie of the year. This was so freaking hard. This was so hard. It was torn between two, but I decided to give it to this one just because of what the big achievement was. And you ready, guys? You've all guessed what I picked. And that is Avengers Endgame. The reason why I decided to pick Avengers Endgame is because it could have gone so bad. Like, you had so many characters in one film. What gave this edge between the other film that I was torn about is this could have gone wrong. They had so many characters in it, and it could have gone to shit, but they did it really, really well. It didn't become with so many characters. It wasn't oversaturated. It was delivered really well, and obviously it was a great ending to the whole Thanos thing and everything with the Infinity Stones and everything like that. So definitely I had to give this movie of the year. So that is it for my 2019 favourites. I hope all you guys had a great year, and if you didn't, like, fingers crossed that next year 2020 will bring lots of joy, unless you're in the UK and you're still dealing with Brexit. So bye guys.